Yes, that week was very, very busy. We had tons of events. We were literally like, wondering, like, because there's so many events.
11 events
Yeah, and
were
we
there.
hardly had time to attend all these events. So we were just trying to, just shuffle from one to another. So there was the vice president's dinner. There was obviously the oath taking. There was the inauguration ball. But, I think our most favorite was the candlelight dinner. At the Union Station, where we almost spent about 20 minutes with President Trump at his table, and considering that he was only there about, say, 90 minutes to 2 hours, he gave us a lot of his time and attention. We met a lot of world leaders, prominent people present at the event. Also present with us were a lot of RHC leaders. Mr. Hinduja himself was present with us. So I think it was a very, very lovely evening. The setting, the ambience was just amazing. I met some very, very inspiring people. I met the First Lady. The whole family was introduced to us. Rest of the family we've met before, but the First Lady I hadn't met before. So we met her. And I think we had a great, great time.
And he continued to be appreciative of the fact that Hindus made such a dramatic difference in the 2016 election. He would call out people who may not have been involved in the ethnic side of the elections, and he would be introducing Kumar family, myself, Manasvi, and my son Vikram, two different people, and telling them what a great job Republican Hindu Coalition, Kumar family, and Hindus did in making his landslide win possible. There were lots of states like Wisconsin and Michigan that was very, very close. North Carolina, that was a very close election, and to a significant part, the Hindu vote made a difference. And sometimes they say, why wasn't it showing in the exit polling or in the baseline polling days before? Polling is only as good as the template you design. Kellyanne Conway, his principal advisor, actually campaign manager title, her background is polling, and she was deep into polling in the Hindu American community as well, and she knew very well that every single vote switch from on the side of the Hindu Americans will make a huge difference. So 207,000 votes of Hindu Americans switched from Democrat to Republican in the battleground states themselves. And on the national scope, almost a million or million plus net vote gain. That's what took place in this election. So when we had the candlelight dinner, we were celebrating that as well. And like I said in my previous interview, President-elect Trump was he didn't have exact specifics of numbers, but he would point out to his close friends that Kumar family, Republican Hindu Coalition, got us millions of votes. He'll say, he got us, quote unquote, millions of votes.
I think it was phenomenal. Like, it was, that atmosphere was absolutely ecstatic. So, we worked so hard on this campaign, almost about 6 months we spent traveling America in the key states, with our facts and trying to, give awareness to people, educate people. That's what we call. So this was a great culmination. This was a great celebration for all our efforts. I think I would love to thank the Trump Organization at this point for including Hindu voices in America in their welcome celebration. This was the first time ever that happened, and I am extremely honored that I had the opportunity of leading this, of being the lead dancer. And the crowd was absolutely thrilled because they hadn't seen this kind of cultural presentation at such a big platform. You know, Indian culture is, something that the whole world admires. The costumes, the dance, the music, our choreographers, our dancers, everybody put in their heart and soul and, all their sweat into it. And it was fantastic. The Trump Organization, the crowd, everyone loved it. So I think there was Mika Singh, a very, very popular Indian singer, Punjabi singer, who came in the finale, and my father himself came on the stage as well. So I think it was quite phenomenal.
I would be remiss in if I don't describe Arya Academy's role, Arya Dance Academy's role. It's the first time I had an opportunity to work with them. Manasvi also first time, and phenomenal people, total dedication. The night before the 19th, 18th, nobody hardly slept. They came from New Jersey to Washington and prepped, rehearsed all night long. And there were some glitches also, but despite the glitches, it was a beautifully done performance. And in fact, Kumar family is going to do something for Arya Academy. Beta, you want to tell?
At what point? He was sure from day one. In fact, there were times when I used to be like, Pops, are you okay? Are you sure we're doing the right thing? There's so much media bias and there's so much random press coverage. Are you sure we're doing the right thing? Because, I'm obviously inexperienced and, this is my first election ever. So in between, I had a lot of days when I had these doubts, and also because my industry is very liberal and, obviously the media. And he was like, Pete, do not listen to any of these things. What we are doing is right. I have told you the facts, and I've told you this, and I've told you that, and you will see Trump is going to win by 300 to 310 votes. And we won by 306 electoral votes. So he had predicted the number. So he was sure from day one. So, that day when we won, and because of the number was so accurate, I was like, Pops, from today onwards, I'm going to listen to you for the rest of my life. I'm never going to argue with you on anything. So I think he was sure from day one. Everybody around us, we were a little bit hesitant, what's going to happen. But he had so much belief, because also that comes from when you're correct, when you know you're right. That belief that comes from honesty, It could not come from anywhere else. So, he knew that we were right. He knew we stood for the right things, and, his firm belief and his faith was, I think, where that was coming from.
Yeah, you could tell from the audiences, all the crowds he was drawing. And you could see, I've seen the phenomena in the 80s on Reagan Democrats. I knew it for sure that there is Trump Democrats. There'll be a huge percentage of Trump Democrats. And also there's another thing, by the way, we did, again, working very closely in conjunction with Kellyanne. There was almost 1 million, a total of about, I think, in battleground states, 1 million. 1 million voters, and we very scientifically pointed out, and we knew those voters, those are non-Hindu voters, who were on the borderline. That is, they will switch from going to Trump website to Hillary website, switch back to Trump website to Hillary website. So that way we know they can't make up their mind, even at the last minute. So last 3 days of the campaign, we waged another campaign. One of the questions in their minds was that, is he racist or is he not? That's the question in the minds of these million voters. And when Hindu Americans so strongly supported, and we campaigned in the last 3 days with those 1 million undecided in mind. That also made a significant difference. So we knew what we were doing inside, so that's why I was confident.
That was before they met my father. But no, but it is true, and I don't know why that is there, because I know that traditionally Hindus tend to be on the democratic side, but considering the policies and considering what Republicans stand for, I don't even know any logical person, any person who can think clearly would not, be like that. And once this is what happened. So we were campaigning for about 6 months, and we would travel and we would address large crowds. We would have meetings, we would have conferences, and people would walk in, say maybe 2/3 of them Democrats, but when we would educate them on the facts, when my father would speak, and given his enigmatic personality, 99% people would, convert and go back. So, the thing is, we do not just say things randomly. They're based on facts and figures. So it's very easy to educate and tell people what the reality is. And once they know that, it's very easy to decide.
It wasn't quite 99.9%, 90%. We will take a poll, but she's absolutely right.
Wasn't it 96%?
One place there.
96%.
No, so many different meetings.
Yeah.
So I would say minimum was 90%. But what she's absolutely right. What we'll be telling them is, look, you all have smartphones. You are very smart people. You just haven't researched. Okay, we'll tell you the fact. You Google Acharya, like one of my friends calls Google to be a Google Acharya, and go look up the facts, and then you decide whether we are telling you the truth or not. So there is an information vacuum. That's what caused in previous elections the Hindu American vote to go for Democrats. But once you realize what the facts are, what the real legislation is, what the real executive orders are, then it's not too hard. It's fairly easy to make that switch. Well, that's a question. It remains to be seen. That's too premature, too early to be talking about anything like this. Right now, they are getting through a slow process of getting even the secretaries and deputy secretaries, then assistant secretaries, and so forth. And one of my principal goals is to help United States in terms of its trade policies, whether it's a trade with China, trade with Asia, trade in India, particularly with India, to increase the trade level from 100 billion a year to 300 billion a year. That will create lots of jobs in United States as well as in India, and I'll be very happy with that. So, whatever comes our way, we'll be definitely look at serving President Trump. It could be more. I would like to see a lot more Hindu Americans in the administration, and we are welcome to have that. Mike Pence, or Vice President Mike Pence, who is head of the transition, has specifically asked me, to provide candidates, and actually I'll say at this point in time it's a little bit of my fault. I've never been in the government, and it's hard to match these job descriptions to the resumes, and but we are working on it. Okay, first of all, both men are very business oriented. Their policies are driven by wanting to have a great economic growth. Prosperity for all regardless of religion, social status, race, color, anything. For all people, both Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump, they want the same thing: economic prosperity. And the second thing is a firm stand against radical Islamic terrorism. India is a victim of that. The United States is a victim of that. And so there is a very huge alignment between United States and India. It's a historic time. Politics in that region, geopolitics, is going to change, and the United States and India are going to emerge as very, very strong partners. Partners in prosperity, partners in peace, partners in stability in that region, and for that matter, in the world. Trump is going to not put up with any BS. Let's just put it this way. That's just not his nature. You give the benefit of the doubt to everybody, and you believe what they're going to do, but you verify. He definitely believes in trust but verify. And let's see what Pakistan does. I've said this myself, this is really my thought, that Nawaz Sharif, Prime Minister of Pakistan, he wants the same thing. He wishes the elements which don't let him run the country in the way Modi wants to run it in India. He wishes that was the same atmosphere, same thing over there, and he didn't have to put up with ISI and military and all those radical elements, and then he could concentrate on iPhones, and he could concentrate on electronics, and well, that's one area I know. So, the policy will be very strong. Whatever the policy is, it will be very strong.
I think that's an extremely, extremely good compliment. And also, I feel the pressure a little bit because they're very big shoes to fill in. Ivanka has been, a successful model. Now, along with her father, Mr. President Trump, they're a fantastic business pair. They've accomplished so much together. I think, comparing us with them is a huge compliment. And I hope we can live up to it. What do you have to say, Pops?
Yeah, it is a somewhat interesting comparison, and particularly the people who have seen myself and my daughter Manasvi work together in the last 6 months, they are bound to draw some comparisons, because she's a Bollywood actress, former Miss India and supermodel, and I'm a businessman, and same situation there. Even though from a political angle, I had been involved in politics somewhat, but for Donald Trump was absolutely new for him to be entering politics, and for Ivanka to be entering politics, and the importance Donald Trump was giving to Ivanka in making some decisions, some really very, very important, critical decisions. I don't know how many people really know this, that Ivanka was part of a decision-making process to the level which people will be surprised at. And same thing similar was going on here for a lot of people who enter into our circle. She was always a great sounding board for me, and we'll be making decisions collectively. So the comparison is somewhat valid, but of course, like she says, is too huge, too big shoes to fill in. We will do our best.
And I think, it's very sweet in a way, because when you see their relationship, I think Ivanka being, I think Mr. President's favorite child, they derive their strength from each other. Obviously, like my father, he has the experience, he has the foresight, he has the guidance, but somewhere maybe I can, know the younger generations, the millennials, how they feel, how they think. So I think it's a great combination. You can kind of address, you can encompass the entire, all the people. So I think it's a great learning for me. I think initially I had some reservations, because when you're an outsider, you kind of are a bit apprehensive about politicians in the world of politics. But under my father's guidance, I think the transition was fairly easy for me. His policies and his decision to support Trump is based on facts. It's based on principles, strength, integrity. So when you see this, when you see what we stand for and why we stand for it, it's pretty easy to, get involved in it, because this is the right way. We stand for what's correct, be it his stance on terrorism, be it, his vision on trade, or, upcoming good relations between India and America. My father's vision, I think, he's inspired many people. During the election campaign itself, we were able to switch about 1 million Hindu-American votes. So I think, I can't help but be inspired and be drawn towards, and follow his footsteps. So I think it was fairly easy, and it's very interesting at such a young age to be involved in such a global platform and to have such huge opportunity. I think I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I would like to mention, within Trump's inner circle itself, and I know a number of our friends, the biggest challenge has been for many of us to convince our daughters to support Trump. I mean, they freely admit that. Where Manasvi comes from, which is a bastion of left thought, liberal thought, to have her be convinced. By the way, she doesn't do anything unless she's convinced. She's too stubborn. But like what she says, it was all fact-based. So, when you actually produce evidence, all the facts, Hillary versus Trump, and what would a Hillary administration will do, what would a Trump administration will do. For example, legislation. A lot of people don't dig deep into legislation when you talk about card check legislation. And so first time Manasvi, she learned the card check legislation, and just like everybody else, they go, huh? Is that what the Hillary administration will propose? A card check legislation? And our people are pretty smart that they quickly Google, let's find out what all they're talking about. Same thing with the episode on F-16s. A lot of optics with the previous administration showing that there is a great relationship and the relationship is increasing or getting better, but when it comes down to real facts, like she said, fact-based convincing. And first, I had to convince her, and then if I can convince her, it's easier to convince the rest of the world. I've spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C. before, but I'm thinking of perhaps moving to D.C.
I'm just going to take it as it comes. I don't know yet. So, my father wants me to now be very, very actively involved in politics. He, in fact, wants me to run for Congress.
She will be the most beautiful, most intelligent, beauty with brains, Congresswoman from Illinois District 8.
Yeah, but also, I want to pursue, arts and entertainment is also something that I like. So maybe both, I don't know, or maybe something else completely. You never know. I'm open to just experimenting right now.